Darcy ran her clawed fingers across her terminal's interface one final time, ensuring everything was in perfect order. Beverages, sustenance bars, audio projectors, all the necessities for what promised to be an extraordinarily long research session. As the Galactic Alliance's chief curator and documentarian of music, her responsibility was to analyze, classify, and archive the musical expressions of every species across known space. Today's assignment would prove historic, documenting the music of humanity, the galaxy's newest member species. Settling into her ergonomic workstation, Darcy accessed the Alliance's recently declassified biological and cultural reports on humans. While such data typically fell outside her expertise, she'd learned that understanding a species' physiology and history often provided crucial insights into their musical capabilities and traditions. As she absorbed the anatomical findings, her throat sac inflated with excitement, an involuntary chirp escaping her translator. This would indeed be a groundbreaking entry for the Galactic Archives. Humans possess what the report termed a highly complex and unique vocalization system. Most species, whether sapient or otherwise, relied on simple vocal cords and basic laryngeal structures to produce sound. Some utilized limb friction or specialized nasal chambers. But humans employed an intricate combination of vocal cords, larynx, controlled airflow, tongue manipulation, and various articulators to generate an astounding variety of sounds, with precise control over volume, pitch, and even emotional resonance. The technical specifications left Darcy stunned. Humans possess a theoretical maximum vocal range of 7 octaves. 7 octaves, she whispered, her translator barely audible. Most galactic compositions span merely 2 octaves. This gave humans the ability to vocalize across 70 distinct musical notes, while other documented sapients were limited to 20 at most. Such range was unprecedented in the known galaxy. But why would any species need such extraordinary vocal capacity? Continuing through the report, Darcy discovered something that made her pause entirely. The biological assessment classified humans as an apex predator species, which seemed incongruous with their apparent musical sophistication. Known predator species throughout the galaxy typically showed minimal interest in artistic expression, limiting themselves to simple war chants and basic territorial songs. Yet cross-referencing with humanity's archaeological records revealed bone instruments dating back 400,000 years. A troubling realization struck her. When had humans first engaged in organized warfare? The historical data provided a stark answer. Evidence of systematic human warfare appeared only 177,000 years ago. One of the most efficient and ruthless warrior species the galaxy had ever encountered. They'd already fought and won 2 interstellar conflicts before even joining the Alliance, had somehow mastered music a full 230,000 years before they mastered war. Darcy could understand predators using vocal range for hunting, mimicry, or territorial communication. But never had she encountered a species that developed such abilities primarily for artistic expression. Shaking off her bewilderment, Darcy accessed the human music database. She immediately choked on her nutrient beverage. The catalog contained 200 million documented songs across 41 primary genres and 337 subgenres, created using over 1,500 distinct instruments combined with human vocals. For perspective, the combined musical output of all other known galactic species totaled merely 10 million songs, 14 genres, and 481 instruments. A single species, one of the youngest in galactic history, adapted primarily for warfare, had outproduced the entire galaxy in terms of musical creativity. Setting aside her beverage, Darcy immersed herself in humanity's musical timeline. Countless melodies spanning millennia, each varying dramatically in purpose, style, and emotional content. The earliest compositions served religious functions, while others expressed personal experiences and emotions across the full spectrum of human existence. Equally staggering was their instrumental diversity, ranging from massive pipe organs that filled entire structures to diminutive slide whistles. Her translator flagged particularly unusual instruments, a theremin that somehow used electromagnetic fields and hand gestures, and something called a vuvular that the database marked with multiple noise complaints. For documentation purposes, Darcy began with humanity's oldest known composition, Hurricane Hymn No. 6, dated approximately 1400 BCE. The gentle, almost hypnotic melody nearly lulled her into a meditative state as she logged its historical significance. Next, she selected something from the medieval period, a piece simply labeled Dies Irae from 1874 CE. The sudden blast of mass human voices nearly knocked her from her chair, the powerful harmony simultaneously inspiring awe and primal unease. Hoping for something less overwhelming, she randomly selected 1812 Overture. The piece featured a beautiful arrangement of stringed and wind instruments, accompanied by what her translator identified as cannons. 3 diagnostic checks confirmed the translation's accuracy. Humans had indeed incorporated artillery weapons as musical instruments, firing them in precise synchronization with the orchestral arrangement. She should have expected as much from a predator species. Modern human music proved even more diverse. Darcy found herself unconsciously moving to certain rhythms as she sampled composition after composition. Each song was utterly unique. Some narrated complex stories, others voiced social protests. Many expressed a complete range of human emotion: joy, anger, courage, sorrow, love, desire, hope, comfort, even humor. One song featured a human at apparent emotional exhaustion, singing about having nothing left to give. Another spoke of persistence despite life's hardships. A third depicted someone defending their right to party. Yet another proclaimed the superiority of the singer's home region. Surprisingly, several songs condemned war despite humanity's obvious aptitude for it. Others provoked more personal responses. Many of these appeared among humanity's most beloved compositions. One spoke of profound romantic love. Darcy unconsciously touched her own mating bond crest, remembering similar words from her partner. Another told of a musician bringing joy to the downtrodden, reminding her of her own profession's purpose during difficult periods. A song by one of humanity's most revered artists narrated a tragic tale that reminded her of a childhood friend's fate. Most remarkable was a recording of 70,000 humans singing in unison. As Darcy paused the lyrics of Country Roads, she realized with painful clarity how long it had been since she'd visited her homeworld, apparently a universal sentiment transcending species. Suddenly, understanding crystallized. "Bonding," she said aloud. Scrolling back through humanity's earliest musical history, she observed that archaic humans had sung to share stories and connect with one another. Even in the modern era, when humans composed music, they did so with the expectation, the hope, that others somewhere would relate to their sentiments, whatever those might be. This was how human religious communities reinforced their beliefs, how individuals expressed themselves to and with others. Most importantly, it was fundamental to how humans communicated. Humanity's military records indicated that entire wars had been won or lost due to communication failures or successes. Perhaps this was their secret weapon. Music and communication were among their oldest, most artistically refined, and most cherished forms of interaction, effective in both war and peace. Though her official assignment was complete, Dashi couldn't stop listening. The more she absorbed human music, the more she empathized with them, and there were so many more wonderful melodies yet to discover.